Okay, so yesterday I woke up to some fun news about Batman being leaked by a known Nintendo leaker. Just another Monday, I guess. Just what the heck am I talking about? Well, you have to wait till right after this. What is happening, Internet? K-Wing here, and today we're talking about Arkham Legacy, which is supposedly the name of the new Batman Arkham game. Yes, Arkham, not a new Batman franchise, that will star the entire Bat family as playable characters, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And before we start this video, just please take the following with a grain of salt, because this is just a rumor. WB Games and Warner Brothers and DC have not confirmed that the game is in development. There's been some teases by Scott Snyder earlier this year, as well as some teases by the game developer themselves during Batman 80 in September. But other than that, nothing is official yet. Which brings us to, who is this leaker? Personally, I've run into Sabi a few times over the years in the game industry, and let me tell you about this individual. They're very good at what they do. Not so much being a journalist, but being a leaker. In fact, they are so good at what they do that they have received numerous cease and desists from various game developers all over the world, especially during E3, because Sabi likes to play E3 bingo, and let's just say that they are a little bit too good to get everything correct on their bingo card. I mean, like, they have a magic 8-ball or something. This year, they did not spoil the entire surprise for Nintendo fans, which was great. And yes, I'm guilty of following this person on Twitter because I find their antics amusing, even though part of me is pretty enraged that they do this kind of stuff. But if ever you need to know what game is in development, then Sabi is your go-to leaker. So, more or less, they're about 85 to 90% correct, if not more correct when it comes to spoiling the fun for gamers during E3, Nintendo Directs, PlayStation events, you name it, they do it. Which, for some people, they don't like, but I find hilarious. So that's Sabi, and now they've set their sights on Batman. So let's talk Arkham Legacy. Now, I know what you're thinking. K-Wing, that name sounds awfully familiar. Well, it should, audience. That's the name of the canceled Damian Wayne Arkham game, which we have talked about in depth on this channel a long time ago. You can actually see the video in the description for more info on that game, which was canceled. But according to Sabi, Arkham Legacy is the name of the next installment in the Batman Arkham franchise. Meaning, again, this is not a new Batman franchise, and that makes me sad, because I just see this as a huge mess, especially if the entire Bat family is said to be playable and it takes place after Arkham Knight. So Nightwing, Red Hood, Robin, Oracle, Azrael, and maybe even Batwoman will show up in the new game. But Batman, Joker, Bane, Ivy, Black Mask, not so much, because they're presumed dead. Well, in Joker's case, I mean, he is dead, Bane is dead, Ivy's dead, Black Mask, pretty sure Red Hood killed him, so he's gone. But, yeah. And I know, I said Kate, Batwoman. Well, if you're wondering about Kate's involvement in the Arkham franchise, she had a voiceover cameo on Bruce's voicemail inside of the Wayne Enterprises office, which takes place after the Hush mission, which was heavily rushed. Really hated the Hush mission in Arkham Knight. But that's where you can find that little Easter egg. However, this new rumor is actually based on an old rumor that originally I was asked not to really speak about over the years by some people at Warner Brothers. Though, for legal reasons, I need to say this, okay? I did not sign an NDA that I know of. If WB is watching this, the leak is now public knowledge, and I am not the leaker. For legal reasons, I need to say that. Please don't sue me, because it would make me very, very sad, and, I mean, come on, I'm the Batman guy. I didn't do this, okay? But anyway, Sabi's leaked info about the next Batman game does match up with things I've heard, and, well, it's kind of scary how accurate it is. However, I was told that this game was never greenlighted. It was just a potential Batman game idea of having the Bat family as starring characters and Batman not involved. But, you know, when they were talking about different Batman games that were in development, such as the Damian Wayne game, well, yes, Batman wasn't involved in that game, minus Damian being the Bat family wasn't really playable, so you can see some differences right there when that game was in development. So let's talk about the game that we do know that is in development, that was spilled by our good friend Scott Snyder, who created the Court of Owls. So if anybody is going to leak a Court of Owls game, what better person than the creator of the Court of Owls himself? So I don't know what to do with Sabi's information. I like to say, okay, this is legit. It's Sabi. But at the same time, Scott Snyder, creator of Court of Owls, you know, along with WB Games Montreal teasing their Court of Owls game on their social media last month, doesn't really mesh well with what Sabi is saying, because from what I remember hearing about the Bat Family game, it did not involve the Court of Owls or the League of Assassins. It was more or less like a battle for the cowl situation, where Dick would try to reclaim the mantle of the Bat, and it would involve the Bat Family. They didn't even really say who the villain would be, because it doesn't really make sense to have Jason be the villain. But Two-Face played a big role in Battle for the Cowl. Or they could have done the whole Son of Batman thing where Dick is introduced to Damian. I don't know. There's a lot of potential fun story things they could have done, but from what I know about the Court of Owls thing, since I did some digging, it sounds like it is a prequel game that takes place before Arkham Asylum, which that's going to give my head all kinds of headaches just trying to figure out the timeline, and whatever. But Sabi's intel, again, it really doesn't go into anything about the story. It just says the entire Bat Family is playable. So, yeah, Arkham Legacy could have to do with the Court of Owls, or it could be a completely different Batman game that's in development. However, what I told AV personally is he doesn't know Sabi's rep like I do. And I'm going to give credit where credit's due. They are very good at what they do, and that is leaking. So, again, my take for this, still a rumor, but I'm leaning toward it being very true because of some of the key points that Sabi said. Arkham Legacy, which was originally a game that had a domain name for a very long time, although if you go to that domain name now, it basically sends you back to the Batman Arkham collection that released a couple years ago, although I believe it leads you now to a WB Games Montreal site, which is being heavily prepared for something, probably, you know, the new Batman game. We also know that WB Games Montreal is holding playtesting for the next Batman game. I did not get an invite for it that I know of, or I did, but just so you know, those places, they do not pay for your travel. You go down there, you're like a beta tester for a week, and it's a hard job. It's cool that you get to play the game, but pretty much they put a gun to your head and tell you, you can't leak this from fear of death. And by fear of death, they mean their lawyer squad, which, no, I'm not crazy enough to do that. Also, I don't know if I could keep a secret like that. I mean, that's really hard. I mean, do I risk being sued to tell people about the new Batman game, or take it to my grave? I mean, it's me we're talking about. So my WB rep is pretty smart if they never gave me an invite to be a playtester, because truthfully, I don't know if I could do it. That's hard. I mean, Arkham's my life, so, well, I mean, Amber's my life, but you know what I'm in trouble now, aren't I? Yes, I am. Still, all you need to know about this, I'm going to do some serious digging and reaching out to some industry peeps I haven't spoken to in years about Arkham stuff, so I'll let you know what my findings are at another time. But now I want to hear from all of you. Do you think the new Arkham title was leaked, as well as the gameplay mechanic? Or do you think Sabi got this one wrong? Sound off in the comment section below. Personally, I kind of want this one to be true. I mean, it just has me thinking about all the cool things that could happen, and Nightwing having a starring role, which people have asked Warner Brothers for a couple years. We would love a Nightwing game, and if they do this, then we kind of are getting a Nightwing game, and Nightwing is coming out in the Titans. So that would be a nice little, you know, thing to follow. Also, Dick Grayson, just so you guys know, his 80th anniversary is next year. Batman's was this year. 2020 is Dick Grayson's 80th anniversary. So it's kind of a big deal. So if you're going to have a Nightwing game announced during Robin's 80th anniversary, I mean, that's something to think about. But don't quote me on that, okay? I also have no idea when a reveal will happen for this game. Some people are going to say December, but I really am leaning toward 2020 as when the news will really drop for this, because there's going to be tons of Batman and Nightwing related news that's going to be both good and bad next year. But it's okay to speculate, people. Just remember, nothing has been confirmed again, and I know I sound like an echo chamber, but it's important to say that for legal reasons. But the fact that me and Avi are talking about this, we could be onto something. Or not. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great rest of your day. And until we meet again, Gothamites, be seeing ya.